Alright, welcome back. So let's talk about strings, and let's create a new class inside this package, and I'm just going to call this strings, have the main function. Okay, so the strings, if you notice, let's say string, we'll say book title. Okay, we'll say book title equals the Lord of the Rings. Okay, so if you type out the name of that variable and hit dot, so the dot exposes everything that's available to us that we can access. We have a couple different methods. There's a lot, there's dozens of them that you can go through on your own time. I just want to show you a couple of these here. So for example, let's say, now this can come in handy when you are using a like an if statement. So we can say if book title dot contains. So dot contains, we can say something like ring. Then we'll say something like sysout the book contains the word ring. Okay, so if I run this, there we go, the book contains the word ring. In fact, let's say string, we'll say word choice. Right, so now we can say equals, have this equal to ring, and then put that inside quotes, and we can say if the book title contains this variable, then there we go. Okay, so you might want to do something like that. So we have the dot contains, this returns a true or false, it returns Boolean. So this expression contains Boolean. Another thing would be, let's say you wanted, let's say we have string browser equals Chrome, right? And so we want to say if browser dot equals ignore case. What if we want to see if it equals Chrome, right? And so we can say sysout the browser is Chrome. Okay, so dot equals ignore case, right? So this is maybe a little bit better, right? You might be tempted to say if browser equals Chrome, right? But this will not. Let me delete that. This would not evaluate to true because Java is case sensitive. So capital C, lowercase c, this will not work. So the best way, I think, would be to do this dot equals ignore case, and then we have the browser is equal to Chrome. Okay, so this is another method within the string API. One other method would be like, let's say we have string first name equals Tim, string last name equals short, and let's say string SSN equals, let's just give a random series of digits. Okay, so there we go. Now if we want to print, so let's print the first, print initials plus last 4 digits of Social Security. Okay, how would we do that? Well, we can do first name dot, then we can do substring. We want to begin at 0 and end at 1. Okay, so in other words, this is like, it's almost like an array, right? So it's going to start at 0 and then end at 1. So we're going to say, let's print that, sysout first name substring 0 and 1. There it grabs T. And now, let's see, we want to, if I take out the ln, just have it be sysout.print, right? Then we'll keep this all in the same line. We'll say last name dot substring, also begin at 0 and 1, and run this here. There we should get T and S. And then the if we wanted to print the last 4 of a Social Security number, we would say we want to start at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually 5. So we want to start at 5. So we can do ssn dot substring begin at 5. So this will take everything after 5. So we can do, if we run this now, we get 2168. So it starts at the 5th index and takes everything afterwards. So we could, if we wanted to change this to maybe the first 3 digits of my last name, so you kind of see how this works if you want to generate some kind of unique code or unique account number or ID based on data from a person. You can use the substring method. So I guess one last thing would be here, sysout would be there are, we do ssn dot dot length digits in the SSN in your SSN. Okay, so now it's going to print the number of characters, which is 9. So that might be an issue, right? So we might actually, is 9 right? 4, so that is right? That is correct. So we can say something like, we can then test, right? If the length is greater than 10 or greater than 9 or less than 9, then there's an error. But if it's not, then you have a valid social security number. Okay, so I wanted to show you just a couple of different API methods. We did contains, we did .equals ignore case, we did .substring, where we took between 2 values. In here we had where we started at 1 index and then basically finished it off. Then we did .length. So, but as you can see, there are a lot of methods available in the string class. But I just want to show you a few so you can see where we're going, and so you have, again, some familiarity with the fact that string is a kind of a different type of variable that we can work with, different than those primitive types like boolean, double, int, etc. So that concludes, I think, the basics of our programming, and we'll see you in the next tutorial.